You know, just had to take a sip from my Blues cup I got for Christmas from my aunt. Because clearly everything I have is Blues related. I mean, look around my room. You guys could see it. I'm a diehard fan. And let me tell you, I was this close to absolutely flipping shit after after the Vancouver Canucks tied this game. And we were so close to being 4 games over 500. I was about to lose my shit. Absolutely throw everything around in my room and blow it all up. I was heated because we were so close. And I for sure thought, because John Kelly jinxed it too. You know, the announcer's jinx. He talked about it earlier. And then Jamie Rivers is like, well, I wasn't going to bring it up. Thank you, Jamie. I appreciate it because John Kelly almost blew it. Thank God the St. Louis Blues got away with this one. But enough with the yapping. The St. Louis Blues win this game 4-3 in overtime in Rogers Arena in Vancouver against the Vancouver Canucks. This game was kind of fun, and I feel like some people might think it was lopsided, but it wasn't as lopsided as you think. And I'll go over and I'll talk about my point of view and what I see. So first period, first 5-6 minutes, all Vancouver puck control, throwing pucks on net, nothing really getting to the front of the net, everything being deflected, maybe wide, shooting wide. Tips not going there, either eating shots from the St. Louis Blues defenseman. Either way, pucks aren't getting the Hofer right away, and he's not having to make big saves yet. Eventually, with this puck control, the Canucks would eventually get shots on net, and the Vancouver Canucks got 4 shots before the St. Louis Blues could even get 1. But the St. Louis Blues' first shot, courtesy of Jake Neighbors, about 9 minutes in, or 8 minutes into this game, was a good chance. It was like a 3-on-2 with the second line. Puck comes around. They're trying to tap this one in. Bounces out. Neighbors holds this one. Casey DeSmith follows it really well. Makes a great save. And that was our first chance for the St. Louis Blues. Before then, it was absolutely nothing. It was get pucks to the red line, get it in deep, or lose it in the neutral zone, and then the Canucks came in. But finally, eventually, the second line got to work. They put up a good chance, and that is the turning point this period for the St. Louis Blues. After that, they actually started getting across the red line, not losing it in the neutral zone, getting these pucks in deep, and getting after it and going to work. Eventually, the first line was grinding it out down low. Robert Thomas have this puck in the corner. Kyrou just gets off. Jake Neighbors hops on. He goes straight to the slot, wide open the slot. Robert Thomas finds him. Neighbors with a great one-timer shot. Past Casey DeSmith, the St. Louis Blues are now up 1-0 with only 3 shots on goal. At that point, scoring first, you always got to feel good, especially with a great team like Vancouver, and clearly this Blues team was insanely tired after last night's performance against the Calgary Flames and traveling west to Vancouver. Luckily, directly after that, the St. Louis Blues would get a power play, and it did not take long for them to score. Scott Perunovich from the point, I believe it was him. Let me double check. Scott Perunovich has his puck on the point, hands it off to Robert Thomas. Robert Thomas has passed his puck down low, and it looked like the Vancouver Canucks kind of had like a just covering center ice at this point. Nobody really down low with the goalie because Jake Neighbors would get this puck down low, get this across to Buchnevich, and Buchnevich has a wide open net to make this a 2-0 hockey game. And the St. Louis Blues were officially awake after that. Both those goals from Neighbors and Buchnevich. That is Neighbors' 15th of the year, assisted by Robert Thomas, and Buchnevich's 14th of the year after having a really, really cold streak lately. Finally finds it back in the net. Not empty netted either. Assisted by Neighbors and Thomas on that one. So Thomas with 2 assists so far in the first period. And they kept going to work. They got the puck down low. They were grinding it out. They got to work. They were clearly more tired, but they just said, F it, we got to go. We got to go, and they went, right? Eventually, the Vancouver Canucks, when they got the puck and had it in the offensive zone, they were clearly the more conditioned team. They had so much gas, and they really made the St. Louis Blues probably scared. having our defense be on the ice for a minute 30, 2 minutes at a time. Eventually, the first period would end, and it would still be a 2-0 game. And I am feeling so far so good because the Vancouver Canucks have to score 2 goals in order to tie this game, but there's still 2 periods remaining. The second period comes along. Nothing big this period. I felt like it was more 50-50, maybe leaning more towards Vancouver with all the puck control. They're eventually actually getting pucks to the net on this one. Hofer was making some great saves. The St. Louis Blues still having their momentum chances. It comes in splurts, right? So it would be all Vancouver, and then St. Louis come down, and they have a good 2 straight shifts, and then it died down, and the St. Louis Blues have absolutely nothing. It was kind of weird. But when the St. Louis Blues came down and they had their little momentum burst, they looked pretty good. They looked pretty good, generating dangerous scoring chances. Eventually, Braden Shen would have plenty of ice with the puck, shoot this puppy far side low. Puck goes in. It's just like that puck goes in. It's a 3-0 hockey game, but the ref was quick to call this one off, to call Jake Neighbors on a cross check in the second period. If you want me to be honest, shitty call. And at the time, I was really frustrated because going up 3-0 would have been nice, but I feel like the refs paid us back later in this game. Just keep that in mind. Second period and the St. Louis Blues are still up 2-0, and the third period come up. Huge third period. Blues just have to hang on for 20 minutes. They have a 2-goal lead. They cannot blow this one. But a minute in, P.S. Suter, I believe this one was actually on the power play. No. P.S. Suter gets the puck. He gets this puck past Joel Hofer. Honestly, the 3 goals that Hofer gave up are kind of, but all game he was stellar. He was absolutely stellar. So a minute in, Suter spots his 10th of the year from Besser and Hughes. And now it's a 2-1 hockey game, and it's not looking good. Drew Bannister sends the third line out there. They get to work. They go straight to work. And Kevin Hayes, strong on the puck in the corner, keeping this puck, toe drags around Elias Pettersson, makes him look silly, backhand passes in front of the net. Toropchenko, 42 seconds after P.S. Suter made a 2-1 hockey game. It's now a 3-1 hockey game in favor of the St. Louis Blues. That is Toropchenko's 7th of the year from Hayes and Walker at 142. And now that cushion is back, and it's feeling really good. Later, Torrey Krug. Actually, no, they killed that one. The St. Louis Blues go to the box again, and Joel Hofer. Joel Hofer misbandages this puck behind the net. Him and Kessel weren't on the same brain length, and this puck goes straight to Suter, and it's the easiest goal probably of his career. He just had to get over Hofer's shoulder, who clearly overcommitted to the middle of the net when Suter was on that strong side. No need to go center like that. Hofer, I mean, I don't know what you're thinking, and this one is, again, a 1-goal hockey game. It is 3-2 in favor of the Vancouver Canucks. After this, Canucks came rolling, and they came rolling. Man. It was so frustrating because the Blues were clearly tired. They got killed, all of their momentum, murdered. They were just moving the puck. Each one of our players was on the ice at, I feel like a minute 30, 2 minutes at a time again. And the Canucks just kept working and working and working. Eventually, would get a power play because Torrey Krug decided to retaliate. Excuse me. After Joel Hofer was hacked and slashed. And I understand defending your goalie, but when it's 3-2 hockey game and 2 points, if you really want to make playoffs, 2 points are so much more important. So much more important. You just gotta keep it cool. And we all know Torrey Krug cannot keep it cool. Hint, killing Robert Thomas in Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Final after David Perron played Schittler with him. And then he lost his helmet, skated right to Thomas, and just leveled him. But Torrey Krug doesn't keep his cool. Luckily, the St. Louis Blues killed this power play off. This is kind of later in the third period. And eventually, the Vancouver Canucks would pull the goalie. And this one is weird because I felt like it was really good at the start. They pull the goalie, and I'm feeling confident. I say, okay, Let's shut it down. Next thing you know, there's a big scramble in front of the net, and Suter again gets a stick on it, and I think Pareko may have whacked this puck in on accident when it was in midair, trying to clear it. Either way, it's a tie hockey game. Pius Suter records a natural hat trick for the Vancouver Canucks, and it is a tied 3-3 hockey game in the final minute. And at this point, I was so upset because we were so close to being 4 games over 500, which, I remind you, we have not done yet all season. We've been there plenty of times, handful of times, and I think Jamie Rivers may have said the record 9 times they've been in this situation, and they're 0-8-1 in the situation. So it really felt like John Kelly did the announcer's curse and spoke too soon. Luckily, the St. Louis Blues win the faceoff. They keep control. They were really cautious, clearly. They just kept circling and circling and circling, waiting for the perfect opportunity. Thomas and Kyrou couldn't get there. They make a change for it. The second line comes out here. I believe it was Shen and Buchnevich at the time, maybe. And they come in. They have a chance. Nothing really goes down. Vancouver Canucks would then come in. They would have a really good break. Hofer with a big save. It may have been on a breakaway. I don't quite remember, to be honest with you. But Hofer made a huge save, drops his puck over, gives it Buchnevich. Buchnevich gives it to Shen, and Shen clearly wants this one. And he goes along the boards. He tries to win it and win the board battle. Somewhat does. He gets stopped somewhat in the process, but we retain control of the puck. We come down. It's a 2-on-1. Couldn't really get anything going. Letty has a swan. He skates down low. Braden Shen with an obvious cross-check on Kuzmenko in front of the net. Clear interference, clear cross-check. But Braden Shen said, I don't give a flying fuck about no referees. And Nick Letty passes the Shen in front of the net. And Shen bats this one. Or Shen takes it, rifles this one far side. Nearly same spot as he did when the goal was called no goal. When he scored early in this game in the second period. And St. Louis Blues win this one 4-3. Joel Hofer, this game I thought was awesome. He made some pretty clutch saves. He had a few clutch glove saves in the third period to keep this game 3-2. He had an insane clutch glove save in the final, or in overtime on maybe it was Kuzmenko who had the breakaway or something, but I don't remember. But Hofer came in clutch. Just keep in mind, he is only 23 years old, so these mistakes he could have had a shutout tonight if he were just on it. But I mean, there's a couple things he did that are big mistakes, and he'll learn and get over it. This is the NHL. He's a young, developing goaltender, and he still posted 29 saves on 32 shots, posting a .906 save percentage. Still not bad. I mean, below his average of the season, which was .910, but, for the way this game was played by the St. Louis Blues, Hofer was awesome, and he came in clutch, and I would give him player of the game at this point, just holding us in it when the Blues were clearly tired from the game prior. So shout out to Joe Hofer for standing strong and not really overthinking it with his mistakes early in this game, especially on that penalty kill goal, or the Vancouver's power play goal, which is a little bit silly. So our 4 goal scorers tonight are Neighbors, Buchnevich, Toropchenko, and Shen. Thomas with the most points tonight, or Thomas and Neighbors tied with the most points, 2 points each. Thomas with 2 helpers, Neighbors with a goal and assist. Shen pots the game winner in overtime, and they mark the first season for four games over 500. Feels good. Maybe they'll go on a run. Next game, I believe it's going to be versus Seattle. And Grubauer is back after being injured for a really, really long time. So if you want me to be completely honest with you, I'm somewhat confident in this Seattle game coming up Friday at 9 o'clock again. Maybe I'm wrong, but the St. Louis Blues, if they want to stay in it, they really got to take it and run with it. Luckily tonight, they're still a point. That's actually, I swear we should be a point ahead of Arizona, but as of right now, with the same amount of games played, we are currently a point behind Arizona. They are 23-19-3. We are 23-20-2. Arizona is just right outside of the wild card, 1 game back, but 2 games in hand. Both the Coyotes and St. Louis has 2 games in hand on the Nashville Predators, who have 47 games played, as both Arizona and St. Louis have 45. I wouldn't be opposed if Arizona makes it, because I live in Arizona and watching playoff hockey here would be pretty cool. But clearly, I would prefer the St. Louis Blues taking this one, right? So, playoff hopes are clearly still alive. The Kings are slowing down. The Predators are slowing down. Arizona just laid a goose egg tonight against the Florida Panthers at home, I think. I think it was at home, or maybe it was in Florida. I don't remember. And Seattle, Calgary, we just won. Big game. So, the Blues are winning these big games against Western Conference teams. I'm kind of surprised. It's kind of, no matter what, you're going to win, because unless you barely miss playoffs. Because, if you start losing out as the St. Louis Blues, a top draft pick in this draft is going to go a long way. Lots of heavy, high-quality prospect defensemen, but there's also some great goal-scoring wingers as well. Yzerman, Demidov, Celebrini. We got kids right now in this upcoming draft that are going to be pretty damn good. But it's playoff hockey, and sometimes I would rather have playoff hockey rather than a high draft pick, only because that also brings attention to the team as well. And maybe we'll get some free agent signings or something like that coming in. I do feel like the St. Louis Blues at the deadline might sell off on a couple of players. I seriously don't see a need for Kasperi Kapanen at all right now. This team clearly can work without him, and that's another couple million off the books. Same with Jakub Vrana. A contending team could probably use him. He's got speed and skill, and a new fresh face or a new fresh area for Vrana would go a long way. Scandella, I would love the trade and save the money, but he's been playing so insanely good. Seriously so insanely good. But we do need to trade a defenseman, because I feel like Matthew Kessel has solidified himself as a top 4 defenseman right now. Or maybe not top 4, but you know what? He could handle the minutes and has been playing insanely safe and good. Tonight was his first minus of his career of this season in the NHL. I don't want to say career because I'm not sure, to be honest. Kessel played fantastic. He's been playing fantastic all season. Perunovic, I'd love to see more time in there. Perunovic is a cheaper Krug. Krug gets the pucks to the net a little bit better, especially on the power play. But Perunovic is so much more elusive. He does the head fakes, and his edge work is insanely good. So I love seeing that from Perunovic. I would love to see him stick around because he is a UFA at the end of the season, if he does not hit 80 total games played in his career. So, after that little yapper sesh, that's all for me tonight. I'm wearing my Shen jersey in honor of the captain, even though this says an A, clearly an older jersey. Getting a game-winning goal tonight. It's a late one. Currently for myself, it's 11:11 for the St. Louis people. It is currently midnight, 12:11. And let's see if the St. Louis Blues can continue and run with it. They finally got over that hump, and let's see if they could just roll. That's all for me. Please let me know what you guys think of the game. Canucks fans, let me hear it. The Shen no call in overtime. All these missed chances on tips and missed shots on net. What do you guys think? Clearly, probably you guys feel like you deserve to win that game, but you still sit safely in first and Pacific, so it's okay. I appreciate everybody for coming in. Make sure you hit me up on Instagram at BlueLuBlog. Make sure you hit me up on Twitter, even though I'm not on it. Same thing, BlueLuBlog. And I'm going to get ready for bed. Goodbye, good night, and game over, St. Louis. I will see you guys on Friday.